got your boy Quanadon, man. Welcome to my channel, Queasy Ways, man. If you clicked on this video to get some information, man, you in the right place. I once was you know, a few months ago. I was confused. I wanted to get into trucking, find out some information on schooling and how hard everything was. So if you clicked on this video, man, you in the right place. If you didn't, I hope this video finds you well. This definitely be some helping information that I also learned from others as well by just clicking on their videos and just learning. So that's the best thing about YouTube, man. Learning, there's always ways to learn on YouTube. All right, so first and foremost, man, we really get into the video based off of everything as far as CDL school, man. So everybody wants to do good in CDL school. Everybody wants to train. Everybody wants to learn everything correctly and be able to pass the test, man. Everybody wants to build that confidence. You know what I'm saying? So I was once you looking into videos to help myself build that confidence because I didn't have that crazy confidence. You were a little bit worried, a little bit afraid of not being able to make it through, not being able to pass it, not being able to do it, even though you're learning the stuff in class and you're getting ready to learn the stuff in school. Sometimes with some people, it could be still a little tough retaining certain amounts of information. As me and myself, like I've always had an issue with that in school as well. So yeah, just a few months ago, I didn't know what to do with this. I was nervous. I didn't think I could ever get a lot of the things that we went over in school. I didn't ever think I can get the maneuvers down pat. I didn't think I would do good on the road drives, driving on the road. To be honest, I didn't think I would be able to retain the information as far as the pre-trip and in-cab. It was a lot of information to learn, man, and it seemed like very little time. So my school that I'm at now, which I am coming to the rear end of my training. I have like maybe a drive left and then I do my test. I have one drive left and then I have to do my test. Well, October I should be a certified CDL driver, man. I will be. I'm passing my test. But this is just some information that I use to help me, you know what I'm saying? So I know everybody has that trouble focusing, staying focused because you're trying to take in so much at one time. First and foremost, man, breathe, relax. Just breathe and relax. Breathe and relax. It's gonna seem like a lot. It's definitely gonna seem like a lot when you go to training. You know what I'm saying? You really gonna go to training when you go to training. I'm not sure how everybody else training. I'm not sure if schools are different, but I know with my training, first we went through an observation stage, an observation period, 24-hour observation, which means we had to watch and observe for 24 hours. So if you had shifts at school where it was a 4-hour shift at school, that's 4 hours of observation. You'll go back until you finish that 24-hour period. So you have to have 24 hours of observation. So you have to just watch and learn and listen for 24 hours. I say use that time wisely. Really ask questions, really observe, and really learn. You have to figure out your way on how you retain information because trying to learn a way somebody's teaching you, it may not work for you. And if it doesn't work for you, you have to speak up and let it be known that that's not working for you and do what's best for you. You have to. Don't get caught into this is how I do it, you know, follow me, follow this way, you know, because one, it's a lot different when you're doing the maneuvers and you're actually inside. So I'm not necessarily talking about inside the cab driving. So when you drive on the road, when you're inside the cab doing maneuvers, you know, you can learn from them. They'll be able to show you ways how to better yourself in that area. You can definitely take some pointers. But when it comes to the pre-trip and in-cab, I feel like the pre-trip and in-cab is something that you have to learn on your own. Not necessarily saying that they can't teach you. They can teach you how to go about doing it. However, when I say your pre-trip is something that you have to figure out on your own, I'm basically saying this list here. Mine's a little jacked up because I've had this since the beginning of my school, so it's a little bent up, but I really use it. So there's a list of a checklist. So when you take your Class A CDL test, there's gonna be a checklist that they're gonna hand you. It's gonna look exactly like this. And there's a list of things that you have to go over, or make sure you go over during your pre-trip inspection. So the NCAP, air brake test, that's things you may have to actually perform and show and demonstrate. There's things you may have to demonstrate inside the NCAP. But when it comes to the pre-trip on the outside of the truck, that's more so of you being aware of what it is, what's going on, and just having that knowledge. So basically, this list, there's no specific way to go and doing your pre-trip on the outside of the truck. As long as you get all of these on this list, you should be good. Sometimes you're gonna be in school, you're gonna be doing your training, and you might be doing your pre-trip, and somebody might come up to you and they might be telling you, hey, you should do it this way. There's no specific way to do it. There's no specific way to do it. As far as your pre-trip on the outside, there's no specific way. All you wanna make sure is that you're completing this list. So if you wanna do it one by one on this list in its exact form, then you can. However, that would take a little more for you, a little more work, because it's kind of all over the place. How I did it, I can give you a tip on how I did it. I basically start, once I do my NCAP. So the NCAP, there's videos on YouTube. You can check out the NCAP, Modernized NCAP 2024. And how I did my pre-trip, basically, I start in the front of the truck. I'm checking my lenses, lights, making sure everything is, properly mounted, secured. And then I go from that point. So once I do that, then I go to the side of my truck. So it's literally like, instead of going by this list, I make sure I get everything on this list, but instead of going on this list, I kind of picked up my own flow and rhythm of how I do it. So I go to the side of the truck, and now I'm checking for my traffic monitors, making sure everything's clear, everything's properly mounted. I'm going to my battery. So I go from the left to the right. So the front of my truck, on the sides, from the front of my truck to the back of my truck. And I check everything on this list. You really gotta get a flow, man. So it's really about getting a flow. Don't let nobody come and tell you that you have to do it a certain way when it comes to your pre-trip. All you have to do is you have to identify this stuff. Prime example, I'm gonna just pick something off the list. My lug nuts are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. There's no missing nuts. There's no shiny threads. There's no powder residue. There's no rust trails. So that means that it is not loose, and then you go on to the next thing, basically. So I'm just giving you an example. So it don't have to be in that order. If you want to start from the back of the truck to the front of the truck, you can. If you want to start from the front of the truck to the back of the truck, you can. I'm just getting you to understand that there's no specific order. Sometimes you'll go to school and they're going to try to show you how to do it their way. I get that. But once you learn how to do it your way, you'll feel so much better, man. I kind of did learn how to do that, like maybe I say halfway through my training, my scheduled trainings, and then I finally picked it up and realized, like, this is the way I do it. This is what's gonna work for me. You definitely wanna find your own pace. Do not try to do everything at once. Do not try to learn everything at once. Your first day of training, don't try to do maneuvers and then try to do pre-trip during the same day and then try to, if you're able to, if you're able to retain that information quickly, you're a quick learner, you have that photographic memory and everything, then you do that. But for the people who are like me, who kind of have to, work their way into it, do it in sections. I'm telling you, you'd be so much better. Do it in sections. I started with my maneuvers first. So here's the paper for maneuvers. Make sure you hold on to that, you keep that so you know how to do your maneuvers. I started with my maneuvers first. Once I felt like I got more comfortable with my maneuvers, I did it over and over and over again, over and over and over again, over and over and over. Don't get discouraged if you hit cones or whatever, man. You just starting. Don't get discouraged. Just keep doing it. Just keep resetting, keep doing it. Each maneuver. You got 4 maneuvers. You got the forward stop, you got the straight line backing, you got the forward offset, and then you got the reverse offset. Just keep doing them over and over and over. Don't get discouraged. You hit cones, so what? Reset, redo it, try it again. You're gonna get it. When I got comfortable, I moved on to taking a truck out on the road. To be honest with you, I came to discover that was actually easier for me to go on the road with the truck and drive it in traffic than it was to do my maneuvers. So I kind of scared myself away from that But the good thing is I focused so much on doing my maneuvers that once I got to taking the truck on the road, it became so much easier for me. So constantly do that. Do it in sections. And then once I felt comfortable on the road and with my maneuvers, I jumped to doing my pre-trip and my in-cab. Sections. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pace yourself. Do it in sections. Don't try to do everything at once in one day. You're gonna overwhelm yourself. Don't do that. My next thing I wanna say that also helped me, man. Take notes. Always take notes. Constantly, man. Take notes. And then when you have those notes at home, practice it. Go over those notes. Use your time wisely. Practice it as if you sitting in front of a truck. Even though there's not a truck, practice your pre-trip and in-cab. Go over it over and over. Keep practicing. I'm telling you, you're going to get it. You got to use your time wisely. So that time that you're not in class, that you're waiting on to get a scheduled another shift to drive, don't sit around and wait. There's a couple days that I did do that. I can honestly say I waited because I was too eager to drive. But don't sit around and wait. Take notes, retain that information, constantly take notes. It works for me. I feel like I know things so much better when I'm actually writing it. It's like it's cemented in my mind, you know what I'm saying? So when I write it, I know exactly what I'm writing as I'm reading. As I'm reading, I'm writing. And as I'm writing, I'm reading. You know what I'm saying? So I get it up here quicker. Just use your time wisely and it should definitely help. It should always help. So this was just my video to give you some pointers on what helps me calm down and get things together, man. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna work out, trust me. My next video that I'll be dropping, I should have my CDLs, man. I should have my CDLs in my next video, man. But yeah, hopefully this video helped you. Y'all stay blessed. Keep believing in yourself. Keep trusting in God and keep praying on it, man. You'll get it, trust me. And we out.